Okay, you've made it to closing day, but do you understand the settlement statement? Have you even heard about it yet? Now, if you're getting a loan, you probably have because your lender sent you an estimated closing costs statement, and that's telling you all the fees that you can expect to pay when you're buying the house using a loan. Those would be all the lender fees, your interest charges, and all the escrow and title fees. They can change, and that's why you have to be given it a couple times. So you'll be giving it to the beginning, maybe in the middle after you've negotiated price and or credits for closing. And then the last one is 3 days before close, because then you have 3 days to kind of cancel the whole deal. And that's making sure that you understand all the charges. So it's really very important. And if you're a seller, it's important too, because you want to know how much you're going to net and what are all the fees that you're getting charged to sell your home. The first thing you want to look at on this box at the very, very beginning at this top here is your name correct? Is it held in your trust? Is your trust properly designated there? So we had an escrow this summer, and for some reason, it was the seller, didn't say anything really till the very end and said, you know, my name's spelled wrong on this settlement statement. Not really anywhere else in the transaction or on the disclosures or in the contract, but the title company made a mistake. The reason that's important is at the very end, you're going to get a closing cost settlement. And the government sees this as pretty much an ironclad document of how you are saying how much you made on the sale and how much it cost you to make that sale. So it's super important that your name is spelled correctly. So there's a couple things you'll want to see on this. This one says estimated settlement statement, and then below is the names of the buyers and sellers. That is all really important because the one that you're really going to want to pay attention to is the one that says closing. Some title companies sign it and put the date that they're signing on it. Some don't. They'll sign at the bottom. But those are things that you want to look out to. So, red flag on that is making sure your name is spelled correctly. Seems basic, right? But it's super important. The next portion of this you'll see are prorations and adjustments, or what we would call credits. So prorations would be the taxes, right? You pay your tax bill in California. It's from July 1st to December 10th. And that is your tax bill. But if you're closing in November, you're going to get a little credit back from the buyer. That proration is going to be where if you're closing November 7th, then they're going to need to give you a credit back for the taxes for the bill that you've effectively paid till December. The other one would be HOA. So if your HOA bill is, $500 a month and you're closing on November 7th, that November, 7th through the 30th, you've already paid that HOA bill, then the buyer has to prorate you that. I mean, I'm sure that's pretty basic. And then any credits. So if you buyer asks for $500 back for a repair that you want done, that would show up there. And then if you're, if there's some other credit that takes place somewhere along the line from anybody, it would show in the prorations and adjustments. Then the next one would be title and escrow charges. Now remember, the escrow company is a neutral third party. They collect all the funds. So they collect the lender funds and they collect your down payment. And then seller, if they go and make sure how to pay off your loan and how to pay off any liens that are on the property, so they can provide clear title to the buyer. So that's their job, but you do pay them to do that job. So there's the insurance policy, which is saying, hey, we are providing property with clear title, but in case there was something that we didn't see or we missed, then we have an insurance policy. Here is the insurance policy fee, and then the escrow fee just to actually run the whole fee and pay everybody and keep all the lights on in their building. Then if it's an exchange, which you'll see on this statement, there is an exchange processing fee. They do charge for that because that's another party that they are working with, and then the notary is signing fee. Now, If you sign in person, you might be able to get a lower rate on that notary fee, but that's really the only place you can kind of get a deal. You know, if you look online, you will see these, oh, how to negotiate your escrow and title fees. Have not seen it happen. They wanted you to know that you could, or that you could go to another title company to get lower fees. But see, the thing is, I've noticed with title companies, now I love them all. I hope none of them are watching this video, but this company packages them up differently than this company. And from what I've been able to tell, all the fees are just the same. I think some are a little higher and some are a little lower, but by and large, it really, I mean, I go to the title company and I choose them for the seller for their service and how well they take care of you and how good they answer your questions and make sure that you're satisfied with the process, not how much they're being charged. Because at the end of the day, saving maybe a couple $100 may not matter if you feel like you're struggling to get that escrow closed and they're not talking to the buyer's lender and they're not performing and they're just not doing their job. Honestly, I mean, wouldn't anybody pay a little extra to make sure they were getting better service? But it shouldn't be that way. I don't think it really is that way. I'm just saying what I've seen. I personally like First American Title. I'm not being endorsed by them. They don't give me anything for this, but I found their service to be what I need for my clients and how I work with them. In this one, you're going to see the real estate broker compensation. I think that goes without saying. It's how we get paid, buyers and seller agents. The next one is government charges and taxes. So here you're going to see a county documentary transfer tax. That is a sales tax on your sale. So seller, if you're selling something for like, 500, so 1,000, it's going to be like 500 plus, or whatever that fee is. It's basically a sales tax. But the other thing you might see there as a seller is a sales tax basically due to the state of California if you didn't live in that property. They basically want their capital gains, which our state does have. I have not had a lot of sellers pay it at the signing or at the closing. They've worked it out with their CPA the following year to see if they truly did owe that tax. Not a CPA, so I'm not giving you any tax advice there. I'm just saying pay attention to that fee and make sure that you pay attention to the form. It's like a 583 or 593 form. Sorry, I don't know the number, but it is a form that is used to figure out, suss out if you have to pay the taxes. So that's something you want to watch for. And that's also a red flag could be in there, is you want to make sure that you're not paying too much tax. I haven't seen it happen, of course, on the sales tax to the county because it's just a basic percentage fee, but the tax to the state is always up for discussion. So that one I have seen not discrepancies as much as it wasn't necessarily needing to be paid out of the proceeds from the sale. So check on that. And then miscellaneous captures everything. So since this year I had more listings, I saw like on this one, you'll see special hazard disclosure fee. That is for the natural hazard disclosure, which is required by sellers to give to buyers. And that runs now, let me look, $109. And that's just the environmental report and then a report to talk about everything, geological about that property and where it's located. It also has some other county disclosures in there. It's actually kind of a good read. I would check it out for our local one here for the Santa Cruz County. And then you'll see other stuff there. So like in this one, you'll see paid Buddy Griggs Plumbing. That one was for some sewer lateral work that needed to be done to meet the sewer lateral ordinance. I think I might talk about that in this video. Hopefully I have it for you. And that one is just, you can build escrow. Not very many sellers do that. Often they just write a check and get it done, but you can build an escrow if you are already in contract and having that work done. So you'll see it there. Or sometimes, like for instance, I paid a pest control report. I paid it because I was there in person with the contractor there, the termite report guy, inspector. God, why did I lose all those words? Just went away. and I paid him, you know, because I was there. So I'll bill it back in escrow, and that's where you'll see it there. So it's kind of the area where you kind of, everything kind of gets taken care of. Now, if you're a buyer, you don't see it there. This is the seller side, just because this is an easier document to explain. But I will tell you, a couple times during the transaction, especially if it's a longer one, this is a really, really excellent statement for you to be keeping track of your costs. It's kind of just like understanding your bill as you're going along and having maybe work done on your house or on your car. It's like, hey, can I get the current bid of the work that you've been doing? Or it's just to keep track of all your costs and expenses. This is a really good form to you know, just ask for it. Say, hey, can I get my settlement statement now? And I'll be like, okay, but we're not done. Or you know what, you went into escrow, I can give it to you. And then by and large, we had to negotiate more credits, or, you know, maybe negotiate the price even a little bit more, ask for it again, and then you'll get it a couple days before closing. I do hope you liked this video, and I'm so glad you watched to the end. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my newsletter. The link is below. And if you think someone else could use this information, please pass it along and comment too. Remember, it's for Santa Cruz County. So if you're contacting me from another area, I can only give you really basic answers. I do get those comments occasionally from other areas, and, you know, I don't know how it's done there, but I can give you basic answers. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to talk with you soon. Thanks.